So here in Studio One, I want to fix some vocals by punching in. Let's just have a quick listen to a couple of phrases of the vocals I'll be fixing. Of all the things we could have known, of all the ways we could have grown. And it's actually that second phrase there, I'll highlight it, that I want to re-record with a little bit of a variation in the melody. So let's just go back a little bit before that to the first phrase so that I can listen in context. And I'm just going to hit the record button, okay? Let's do that. Of all the things we could have known, of all the ways we could have grown. And you'll notice there it just recorded that section, okay? Let's have a quick listen. Of all the things we could have known, of all the ways we could have grown. And it's really that simple, but there's a few things you have to set up first. Hi folks, I'm Mike, and I hope you're well. There's actually a couple of different ways that you can punch in Studio One. That was the automatic method. Let's just take a quick look at the manual method. Now, one of the things you can do is just punch in manually. You do that by playing the song and then hitting record at the time you want to record. Now, for most people, they like to hear a little bit of context, a little bit of the song just before the section they want to re-record. So I'm just going to go to the phrase before so I can hear that, and then I'm going to hit record just before that second phrase. Now, I've got record mapped to the asterisk key on my keyboard, which I think is the default mapping. I may be wrong about that, but you can do the same if you wish. So I'm going to hit play and then I'll record just that second phrase. Of all the things we could have known, of all the ways we could have grown. And just as I did there, you can actually hit the record key again to stop recording. And that's fine if you're sitting in front of your desk here and you've got access to your keyboard. But mostly when you're singing, I don't think you want to be bothered with that process. You probably aren't sitting at your desk and you don't want to have to think about hitting the key at just the right time, okay? So there's a much better way of doing things. So in order to use the automated method I use in the intro, there's a couple of settings we have to check in Studio One first. So go down towards the bottom of the screen where you can see all of these tiny little icons, and next to that cog icon there you can see this little icon. That's the auto punch icon, okay? Just click on that and it will turn red to show that it's engaged. Now you can also toggle this on and off by hitting the I key on your keyboard, okay? Now just to the left of that we can see the transport controls. If you right click on any of those, you'll see an option at the top here which is loop follows selection. Now we're not actually going to be doing any looping, but we need to make sure this is checked, okay? So I've got that checked, and then the next thing I have to do is just select the area where I want to record. So I'm going to make sure that my mouse is hovering over the top half of the waveform here. I'm just going to drag out that selection there for that second phrase, okay? Now the next thing I'm going to do is move my playhead to the beginning of the phrase before, because I do want to hear the sort of context of the song, and I'm just going to press record and then start singing. Of all the things we could have known, oh, and all the ways we could have grown. And you'll notice there that I did a little bit of an ad-lib. Didn't sound that great, but it didn't record that, okay? It just punched in at the point which I had set, okay? So we've only recorded that phrase and it sounds like this. And all the ways we could have grown. But what if I really liked that ad-lib? It'd be cool if I could get it right. Well, you can. If you just drag out the left-hand side of this selection, and I'm hovering over the bottom half of the clip here, I'm just going to drag that out, and it reveals that little ad-lib. Have a listen. Oh, Now, I probably wouldn't want to keep that in real life, but it is there if I want it. But to make sure that we have that option available to us, there is one more setting we have to check. Now, I'm going to open up options by pressing Control, comma on my keyboard. If you're on the Mac, it would be Command, comma. I'm going to go over to Advanced, and then I'm going to go to the Audio tab. And you can see there's a selection towards the bottom there, which is Pre-record audio input, okay? It's actually going to capture audio before you hit record. Now I've got it set to the maximum here, which is 1 minute. Okay, you can set it to less than that if you want. I press OK, and that's how I managed to actually capture that little bit of ad-lib there and possibly keep it in the final mix. Now, if you were to take what you've learned here and combine it with vocal comping, then you could really capture the best of your performances. But in order to learn about that, you'll need to watch this video right here.